We've been retired just about a year. And in that time, it's given us the ability to reflect on why we decided to retire early.
So here are top reasons why we gave it all up at the peak of our careers, retired early, to maybe give you some food for thought in case you're debating the same path.
Away we go traveling.
This is Kara. I'm Gary. We are a early retired couple who are full-time slow traveling. I retired in my early 50s, Kara in her late 40s. And we are traveling in the United States with our dog Molly and our SUV. And we're documenting our adventures along the way.
All right, let's get into it. The number one, maybe tied for number one, the big reason why we decided to give it all up and retire early is when we realized no job will ever love you back.
Nope.
You are wildly replaceable.
Yes.
And I'm sorry to break that to you if the labor you perform for money is your identity. I know it was mine for a long time, but once I realized that I am something different than the labor I perform for money, I realized the hard way that no job will ever love you back. And you are incredibly replaceable. And no matter what you do, it made giving it up a lot easier.
It did. We talked about our jobs and we had always considered, well, we can't leave because we perform this task and this task and this task, and nobody else can do that. And you form a bond with your coworkers. You are doing the same things together. You're sort of rowing in the same direction. We've always been in sort of mission-driven jobs. You know, I'm retired military. We spent a lot of time in the government. So we always did lots of things that had sort of an end goal that we were working towards. And you get with your coworkers and you're pulling for a common thing. So you think if you leave, that's going to end all that. And it's going to cause them some kind of problem. And I think what we determined from a couple of different events is that's not the case.
It's not.
It's in every opportunity, there's going to be next man up. If you leave, they're going to put somebody in your place and that job is going to continue. So it's okay for you to leave. If you think you're trapped in your job because you're the only one who can do what you do, you're not required to stay in that job.
And a lot of what Gary's talking about is the social network that you create in your own career, in your own job, in your own office environment, or even an online office environment. But the job itself, again, I have to reiterate how much I did this and this was a mistake of mine for a long time. What I did for work was who I was as a person. And those are different things. And once I kind of understood that, who am I? If I don't answer that question, I know especially in the US, people are like, who are you? What you answer with what your job is.
What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do when it's your job? That's not who I am. That's not my identity. That's not me as a person. Now when people say, what do you do? I have fun. I travel. I live.
Your job doesn't have to be your whole life.
So that was one of the reasons why we retired early and were able to have that mental and psychological difference between who we were and what our goals were versus the labor we were performing for money. And we were able to pull chocks and start living life of freedom. And we're not necessarily saying you have to go quit your job and do something, but redefining freedom is kind of what our goal was.
Okay, next up, reason we decided to retire early. The one completely non-renewable resource in life is your time.
Yep.
Nothing is guaranteed. You might be perfectly healthy today. You may get a horrible diagnosis next week. And we didn't want to spend a life building towards a retirement, retire at 62, start collecting Social Security to realize at 63, one of us gets 6 months to live. Yep. We decided to, as Kara mentioned previously, choose freedom and choose a different path to maximize the amount of time we have doing the things that we want to do. Now, in our case, it happens to be full-time slow travel. We rearranged our careers, we rearranged our lives because what we wanted to do for us in our lives was full-time slow travel. Nothing is guaranteed.
We both had things in our lives, people, experiences that have made us realize life is precious. Time is worth more than anything on this planet.
Right.
And we wanted to maximize our time, just like Gary said, because you just never know what tomorrow will bring.
We've both lost friends. We've both lost family way too soon. A lot of times they're accidents, they're surprises. Things happen and you never know. So we decided we're going to take the known quantity we have right now. We have our health now. Nothing's wrong now. We're going to do everything we can to work our lives and to be able to retire early. We did. And now we're living that life of full-time slow travel.
Loving every minute of it.
Next up, when you look at retiring, people always talk about what they have in their accounts, what their 401k balance is, how can I maximize that? How am I going to max out my 401k or my Roth IRA for next year? And everything is about maximizing that value and creating the largest number you can. And at a certain point, when is enough? When is the math work out that you say, I've got enough? And there's a common phrase when you're looking at retiring is, I'll just work one more year. And if you work one more year, that's great. You will likely increase your portfolio balance, maybe significantly, depending on where you are in your career, but at what cost? Talking about our previous point of time is your only non-renewable resource. That's one more year, one more good year that you had as a healthy adult who's physically able to do things. You know, we can still hike, we can still run, we can still climb mountains. Those things that you may not be able to do if you wait to full retirement age. Yeah, you'll still have some things you can do. But as any of you who are aging know, when you wake up the next day and everything is sore, that doesn't get better over time.
No, it does not.
For us, avoiding one more year syndrome and knowing when was enough. When is it okay to say, this is enough? And you have to know that by budgeting, right? And tracking your expenditures and knowing what you spend, because you can't know if you have enough until you know how much you spend.
Yeah.
And we did that pretty well before.
Right. And so we worked a plan. And you can see one of our previous videos where we talk about the things we did right and the things we did wrong when preparing for early retirement. But we went into this with a plan so that we knew the math checked out. We didn't just rage quit. We knew we did not need one more year. So we were able to avoid that one more year problem. And because we went into this with a plan and we knew the time was right.
I mean, one more year would have helped. Absolutely would help. It always,
sure.
One more year will always help. But the key is understanding the trade-off that you're getting. Right. You are sacrificing that one more year of stress and that one more year of commuting to and from your job every day, and that one more year of answering to your boss, and that one more year of answering emails on weekends. So those are the things that you have to kind of play out and figure out, is this what I want to do? And in our case, we decided that one more year was not going to do it. This is our time.
And our final top reason why we quit early was because we chose freedom. And don't get me wrong, we understand we worked hard for this, we sacrificed for this, and we are blessed to have the lifestyle that we have and the ability to do this on our own terms. But we chose the freedom of being able to do whatever we want with our day. And we're not saying that this is a list of how to quit early and do what we did. Our choice is to full-time slow travel. It may not be your choice. We wanted the ability to make that choice for ourselves. And to be able to decide what we want to do with our day. Do we want to take other jobs? Do we want to take time to full-time slow travel? Do we want to spend this Wednesday afternoon with you at the beach? Darn the luck. But it was the freedom to be able to make that choice for ourselves, because that's what money is. For us, we realize the psychology of it's not the accumulation of things. It's not putting your net worth on your tombstone. Financial independence and financial knowledge gives you the freedom to make choices for you.
And that's the key to this. We chose freedom and we chose what we want to do with our freedom. We want you to be able to choose freedom as well. We want you to be able to say, I have enough. I don't need to work one more year. I'm burnt out of my job. I'm tired of answering emails on weekends. I want to do what I want to do. And it doesn't matter what that is. It doesn't matter what you choose to do. We want you to choose what it is that you want to do, not what you have to do because you have to go to your job 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, depending on what you do.
And a couple of resources we'll link in the description are some of the books that really got us to this point. Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins, Quit Like a Millionaire, Die with Zero,
Psychology of Money. And we'll link our budgeting app as well. We use Monarch Money. You don't have to use that one. There's tons of apps out there, or you can just use a spreadsheet. But we highly recommend getting control of your expenses and what you spend as far as what you bring in as well. Track all those things. It doesn't matter if you do it with an app or on a piece of paper, but definitely have a good handle on what you're doing with your budget. That will help you significantly be able to choose freedom and choose a lifestyle that you want.
These were the top reasons we decided to quit early and choose a life of freedom. Hopefully this has given you some tools, maybe something to think about. Or if you're already on this path, let us know in the comments. What were your biggest reasons why you gave it all up and quit early? We want to know.
Thanks for watching.
Happy traveling.
That is another plane. Where did he come from?
Airport.
I know, but why is he there?
All right, Summer Flash.